no offense to you, but I didn't give birth to a Chipotle bag. It's like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty, especially for a girl that dresses goth. You know, usually the goth girls aren't that pretty, especially when they're black. Like, ew, why'd you leave the kids with her? She's such a bad influence. She's gonna have the kids head banging and being all demonic and shit. And the only people who have tried to gatekeep goth for me as a black person have been the internet and people who aren't even goths. It's never actual goth people that I meet in real life. It's one or the other, or sometimes both. And it's like younger goths who are like teenagers and they're not old enough to go out to clubs, so they don't know. They're not like out in the world or whatever. And then it's also people who live in small towns where they don't even have bars or clubs or anything. It's like a food desert. It's a very rural America type thing, or very rural, like other country type vibes. And they're not outside. Like, they don't go to clubs, festivals, conventions, parties, nothing. So their connection to the goth subculture is just through the internet. And because there's so much misinformation and things that get pushed out on the internet, and it's very easy to end up on a toxic side of the internet, and you don't know people in real life, like literally don't touch grass. It's all weeds in their neighborhood type thing. Like, those are when people try and gatekeep goth for me. Like, it's never actual goth people in real life. It's always like the internet and people who don't even go outside. Hi, my name is Ellen. I'm an artist. This is my channel. Follow, like, comment, subscribe. If you're new here, welcome. If you are like a Okay, so I'm editing this video and I realized that based on how I titled it, I probably should have added more context. Do people accept me as a black goth girl? Like, do they believe that I'm a real person? Hit or miss. A lot of people assume that I'm either a cosplayer or a paid actor, or the photographers that I worked with back when I was an alternative model were making me dress that way for photos. I don't know, they think I'm some type of actor to push an agenda. Like, I don't know, some people think I'm a part of a cult. A lot of people refer to being goth as being a part of a cult. Like, there are people that literally think that there's something wrong with you for being goth, especially when you are black. A lot of people, they just don't understand what's going on or how to approach a situation or anything. But yeah, like, a lot of people have accused me of being a cosplayer or portraying some type of character or wearing a costume, especially when it gets to be like fall, because around fall is when people accuse me of wearing a costume the most. Especially if I'm literally at a Halloween party, then people tend to be like, no, really, my wife needs that costume. I think it'll look hot on her. Like, sir, these are my fucking clothes, and no, you can't have them. No, it's not a character. You can't go and buy my whole outfit at a store like it's some type of uniform or costume. Because a lot of times I'll be making or customizing my own stuff, so like you literally can't find it in a store. And a lot of things I own are either thrifted or vintage. So there are people that quite literally do not believe that I am a real person. They just think I'm some type of character, or that I'm some type of actor, or that I'm paid to push an agenda, or, you know, something like that. A lot of people just have a lot of crazy assumptions about being goth, especially when you're black. I will make another video about what it was like to grow up emo as I transitioned into goth, and tell you guys all about how black moms specifically were not fucking with me, okay? I was enemy number one as a child, just for wearing all black and liner. And my style back then versus now, like, what constituted as being alternative back in like the 90s, early 2000s, versus now, it's completely night and day. Like what I wore back then, most people wouldn't even blink an eye at, and at like a 2025 lens. But what I wear now would definitely put those people into a coma. Current van, welcome back. Let's get into the issue of acceptance within the goth community, specifically from the perspective of a Black goth woman, because that is my perspective and where I'm coming from. So here's the thing. A lot of times when goth people say that there is an issue with acceptance in the community, people like to purposely misunderstand you and say things like, but I thought that was the point. I thought that you didn't care what people thought. I thought that you didn't care about being accepted, and that's why you dress the way you dress, because you don't really care if people like it or people approve of it or not. And it's like, that's kind of the point, but not really. Or like, you almost got the point, but you like skirted way past it. Like, way past it. Okay, so the issue with acceptance in the goth community, specifically from my experience, is it isn't whether or not strangers accept or approve of me so much in terms of why I dress the way I dress or anything like that. It's more so about how I'm treated, more so than how people think. People gotta think whatever they want, whether it's the right thing or not. Even if they're educated, even if they're corrected, they're gonna think what they want to think. But my whole thing when it comes to acceptance in the goth community is more so along the lines of microaggressions and different things that people have said to me within my friend groups and within relatives and everything that I just feel like isn't okay and is an example of acceptance. It's not about whether or not that people approve of how I look and whether or not I should dress the way I dress. It's more so about the way you act, okay?
The problem was never how you look, the way you act. It's the way you act. It's the way you act.
It's the way you act, okay? It's the way that you act. People are fine being friends with me being alternative. People are fine being friends with alternative people. That's not the issue. The issue is that even your closest friends, even your family, can still harbor lots of ignorance towards you and towards the things that you enjoy and say completely out of pocket things and then get mad when you block them, when you ghost them, when you decide this friendship isn't for me anymore, or you distance yourself. And then they complain to other people and they say things like, oh, I tried being friends with this one girl, but she was goth, and I'll never be friends with a goth girl again because I invited this girl to my house, and my family isn't goth, I'm not goth or anything, and she showed up dressed goth, and my mom doesn't even know what that means, and my grandma has dementia, and I told her that she can go upstairs and change into like a t-shirt and jeans and wash off all that makeup, and she refused, and she didn't want to cover her tattoos or anything, and it was a whole issue with my family, and it brought a lot of drama. And it's like, I would be cool with her if she just didn't do all that around me, because I'm not goth, and why do I care about that? It's like people will say things like that and have no awareness, no accountability. It's like, why are you friends with somebody and invite them to your house if you're not okay with the way they look and you're expecting them to show up differently than themselves? And then you get mad when they refuse to conform to whatever it is that you're trying to project onto them. Like, that's not okay. Nobody does that for anybody else outside of alternative people. Like, nobody does that. But somehow it's acceptable to do to us. And that's like an issue of acceptance. That's an example of having an issue of acceptance. Okay? There was this one time where I overheard a conversation of a mutual friend saying to our friend who's covered in tattoos, like, oh, no offense to you, but if you come over to our house for, my kid's birthday party, then I'm gonna need for you to cover up your tattoos. Want to have tattoos in your body, that's fine, but I don't really like tattoos, and I don't want that to be a bad influence on my kids. Like, no offense to you, but I didn't give birth to a Chipotle bag. And I was like, what the fuck? Why are you friends with somebody that you feel that way about? And then asking them to come to your kid's birthday, presumably buy a gift for your kid, and then telling them that they need to cover up their tattoos every time they're going to be around your kid because you don't want your kid to be influenced by those tattoos. Instead of having a conversation with your kid that tattoos are not appropriate for children, but when they get old enough and they decide that they want to get tattoos and they can, you're like sheltering your kid to that extent. And then you're mad that the girl didn't want to conform. Like, nah, fuck you and your kid and the kid's party. Like, I don't even want to go anymore. Like, all you have to do is cover your tattoos when you don't just have fun. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not doing that. What do you mean? Like, that makes no sense. There's been times where people have left me alone with their children, and the other parent came and was like, ew, why'd you leave the kids with her? She's such a bad influence. She's gonna have the kids head banging and being all demonic and shit. And it's like, I was just playing with the kids like normal. Like, we were playing a game, we were watching something or whatever. Like, having a normal interaction with the kids. But because that parent didn't like the way I looked, it was just like, no, why'd you leave my kid with her? Like, what? And it's like I was even paid to babysit. It was just like, hey, can you watch my kids for a second type thing. So why are you mad? So there has been times where, okay, so I'm going to tell you about very specific experiences that I've had with very specific people, and I'm not going to name them in this video, or I'm going to make up a name for them. We're going to call this person Mo. Mo was an artist, and Mo hired me to be an art model, and we ended up being friends, and we would hang out and stuff. Mo was cool. I thought, cool, he's an artist, I'm an artist, we're both artsy. He's not goth or alternative or anything, but he's just an artsy guy. Thought he was cool. But then I would notice that every time I would hang out with him, he would always have something negative to say about me being alternative. Like, he would always be like, oh, I think you would be so much prettier with pink lipstick instead of black. Oh, I think that you would be so much prettier with like colorful makeup instead of just black eyeliner. Oh, I would like you better. Like, oh, I think that your goth wardrobe is cute and all, but I think you should really try like a pretty floral dress or whatever the hell. Like, he would always have some type of little backhanded compliment about me being goth or alternative. My final straw with Mo was Mo had invited me to like this art party thing with the rest of his artsy friends, but they were like the snooty artist friends, and I didn't know that. He didn't warn me about this or anything. So I agreed to go model for this group of people and showing up as my full self. And then when I get home, instead of him being like, hey, thanks for coming out, really enjoyed it, everything like that, he was just like, my friends didn't approve of the way you dress. They said this, they said that, they didn't like this, they didn't like that. The next time you hang out with us, you need to dress completely different. And I can't believe you dress like that to hang out with my friends. It's not cool. If you want to hang out with them again, then you need to do this, 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 and this. And I just was like, you know what? I don't want to be friends anymore. Because you always got some slick shit to say about me being goth. And then you brought me into a space where the people that you brought me around don't like goth people. And they're gonna have some shit to say about what I look like, what I'm wearing, and whatever the hell. And then instead of you checking your friends and telling them that what they said was not okay, or just not telling me anything and not inviting me to be around those people again, you're like delivering the message from them to me. Like, what the fuck? That was weird as hell. And then I was like 21. I think I was like 21 at the time. And this person was like 36. And I'm like, you're a grown ass man. You shouldn't be acting like this. This shit's weird. So I had to stop being friends with him. There is another person that I used to be friends with that I met at like a brand ambassador bit. I'm going to say her name was Maggie. Maggie had some real deep self-hate issues. I think I was about 23 at the time and she was like 40. And I thought it was weird that she was even trying to hang out with me to begin with, given the huge age gap or whatever. But she seemed super fun, super cute, cool, like everything was fine. But then she started saying little microaggressions towards me, like projecting her self-hate onto me. She's like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty, especially for a girl that dresses goth. You know, usually the goth girls aren't that pretty, especially when they're black. I was like, girl, what? Girl, what? I have not straightened my hair in years. I couldn't tell you where my straightening irons are. And I would hang out with this girl and she'd be like, oh my gosh, if I was you, I would just straighten my hair and let it blow in the wind. Don't you want your hair to blow in the wind? It would probably fit your goth look even better. Girl, what? So the reason why I finally cut Maggie off is because Maggie told me that she's been in a relationship with a white man. No hate to interracial dating, but this was not the relationship for anybody. So she told me that her white boyfriend was racist towards black people. And his family was racist to her specifically. I was hanging out with Maggie one day and we went out to eat, and then she brought me home to that man's house and she called him and was like, hey, me and Ellen are hanging out. Do you mind if I bring her over to hang out? He was like, yeah, cool. I'm not home right now. See you guys later. No problem. I think that he thought that because my name is Ellen, that I was white. So when he came home and saw my black ass sitting on the couch, he was like, oh, you're Ellen. Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting you. Like, he just started talking weird and looking at me weird. And then at one point he asked to speak to her on the side. I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be some shit. It's gonna be some shit. And I overheard little bits of the conversation that he had with her. And he was just like, I thought that you were bringing a white girl home. Who the hell is this? Well, why you got this black bitch sitting on my couch and all this other stuff? And like, what is she wearing? What type of black girl is that? And she was like, oh, well, she's goth. Like, I thought you were making an effort to make more white friends. And I was like, oh, I have to go. I'm in danger. What the fuck is going on? So
I'm in danger.
She comes back and she's like, yeah, we're gonna have to wrap this up. I'm gonna like take you back downtown and you can go home from there, right? And I was like, yeah. And I just never hung out with her again. Because not only was she saying weird shit to me about being goth, and not only did she have self-hate issues that she just needed to work on, and not only was she in a relationship with a racist white man that she was like struggling to leave, and she finally was able to leave at some point because I ran into her years later, but she put me in danger. So I was like, absolutely not. I can't hang out with people who put me in danger. Like the first situation, that guy put me in danger, like emotionally. And this girl put me in danger, like physically. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky I got out of there alive, because, like, I don't know if he was beating her or what, but that is, like, look, if you're gonna be in an interracial relationship, love who loves you, but I hope that type of love never finds me. Like, never finds me, okay? Never, ever, ever finds me. Dating wise, and the issue of, acceptance or whatever. There's been so many times where boys and men, so I'm saying this because my reference is like teenager and young adult. I've been in a relationship since I was like 22. So, boys and men. What the hell, Barry? What the hell, Barry? I think you're pretty, but I'm not really into the whole goth thing. There's this one guy that I was, kind of friends with, and he was like, hey, I'm interested in dating, but I don't really like the whole goth thing. I don't really like girls that wear makeup. I don't really like girls that, have different color hair and stuff. So if we start dating, can you just not wear makeup? Or at least not wear makeup around me? And can you dye your hair to like brown or something? And can you just like dress normal when we hang out? I was like, what the fuck? Hell no to all of this. And threw the whole friendship away. I was like, yeah, I can't even be friends with you. I lost all respect. I'm truly good. There was some other weird stuff that went on. And I can't do it. But yeah, like people are weird to me because they perceive me as weird. I told you guys about a couple of years ago how I got yelled at for being goth because this guy was mad because I wouldn't agree to like do some weird things for money. And then he got mad because he was like, well, why are you dressed like that? Because I think girls are dressed like you are bad girls. Why are you dressed like a bad girl if you're not a bad girl? If you're not gonna agree to be my personal sex slave, whatever the fuck. Like, I was in a bookstore. I was just trying to read. I was reading and minding my own business. What the? I don't even know. I don't know what the fuck. But yeah. That's been my experience when it comes to acceptance as a Black goth girl, and how I would say that there is an issue of acceptance. It's not so much that I care about if people approve of what I'm wearing. I'm aware of what I'm wearing. It's not, just strange looks on the streets or people making little comments here and there. It's like whole friendships, whole relationships have been nipped in the bud because of some weird ass experiences that I've had throughout my life that have made me really cautious. That I would say is the issue of acceptance. And I hope that these examples give you guys some clarity, because it's been a wild ride. And if you have any experiences that are similar to this, then please comment them below and we can have some discourse, because things are crazy, okay? This world is a strange place. Okay, bye. Okay, so another issue of acceptance that I've noticed pertaining to my experience being Black in the goth community is jealousy. I know that word gets overused a lot and people can use it incorrectly to dodge accountability, but hear me out. So you don't have to have anything for people to be jealous of you. If nobody's ever told you that when you're younger, but it is absolutely true. There is a video of a homeless lady that went viral, and the girls are in the comments jealous because she has a fat ass. So you could be homeless and somebody could be jealous of you for having a fat ass. homeless. But you're still homeless. They're not offering to help you. They're just jealous because of your body. You can be an employee and your employer can be jealous of you. You could be the renter and your landlord can be jealous of you. You could be a child and an adult will be jealous of you. So a lot of issues I've had with acceptance for being goth as a Black woman comes from jealousy. A lot of people project their insecurities and inadequacies onto you. Because people don't feel comfortable in their own skin and they see you comfortable in your own skin, and maybe somewhere down the line somebody told them that they can't express themselves and they have to live a certain type of way, and they see you doing it, they feel like they have to attack you. A lot of people have like this pecking order mentality where they see somebody that looks like they're out of place, they feel like it's their job to bully them in place. A lot. I've experienced that a lot. Guys, my partner is like mad at me because I have on press-on toenails, and I keep walking up to him doing like this, but like with my toes on his legs. And I showed him like the press-on toenails, and he's like, "What the fuck? They make press-on toenails? Why? And what made you buy them? How did you find them? Where did you get them? What made you search them out?" Like, he just has all these questions, and every time he like asks a new one or says something about it, I'm just like this to his legs.